A few of my customers. I asked them if once they were ready to purchase the baker, I said, I would love for you to just come back to me and tell me if you thought the baker was worth your investment of the initial price of it. Now, some of them didn't pay full price. Some of them hosted a party and they got a half off or they got it for free with their free product value. Some people became consultants and they earned it for free that way. So not everyone's paying full price for the baker. You get to choose which way you want to do it. But pretty much everyone came back to me and they said, number one, their grocery bill was lower. Number two, they didn't eat out as much. Number three, they loved the fact that other people could use the baker and they weren't concerned. So like a 10-year-old daughter was helping in the kitchen and there was no boiling water for her to reach over or do anything, or knives or anything like that, and they were so excited they were helping to cook. Another husband came up and hugged me and said, oh my gosh, I love my wife's cooking now. I'm like, don't tell her you didn't like it before. He's like, oh no, she knows. I'm like, oh great. But he loved the fact that she was now making dinner and could plan things out far in advance. And I know exactly what I was going to tell you. So here's my rule of thumb with the baker. When you get the baker, you're going to get the cookbook. You always, always, always need to have 3 frozen chicken breasts in your freezer at all times. This will save your life many, many times. How many of you have ever figured out that, oh my gosh, it's 4:30 and these people are going to want me to feed them at some point today before they go to bed? Yes, it happens to me. I'm a stay-at-home mom and I'm like, oh my gosh, 4:30 already. Well, how does that happen? And it happens to everybody. I don't care if you work full-time. I don't care if you have kids, you don't have kids, you like to shop for a living, whatever. It happens. All of a sudden it's 4:30 and people like to eat every single day. Imagine that. And if you have those 3 frozen chicken breasts in your freezer, you can pull them out, stick them in your baker. You can miraculously change things into Greek chicken or Italian chicken or whatever flavor you choose. We can do the chili lime chicken for the enchiladas, or we can do Chipotle, or we can do Tex-Mex. It doesn't matter. You throw that rub on there, and you just add 2 extra minutes to your cooking time. So we did 10 minutes for our chicken today. You would just add 2 extra minutes because it was frozen, and it's going to come out exactly the same way, and you just saved yourself from having to run to the store quick or run to a restaurant quick or stop through fast food, greasy junk mess quick because you realized it was 4:30 and you hadn't made dinner yet, okay? So you definitely want to be able to be prepared ahead of time without even knowing you're prepared ahead of time, all right? So and then put it on your grocery list as soon as you use those frozen chicken breasts. Put it on your grocery list so you have them for the very next time, okay? All right, so I heard our microwave finished. We're going to check and make sure our chicken is done. Before we check to make sure it's done, oh, by the way, I'm using my micro grips, and some of you may think that they're lips because my children run around with them and their mouth is lips. So if you use them for whatever you want, I don't care, but I use them to get the baker out of the microwave. So nice not to have great big oven mitts or grab the oven pads or whatever. It's so nice to have these grips. They actually grab a hold of this baker for you. So let me pull this lid off, and we're going to set it aside, and I'm just going to show you our chicken. And I want you to tell me if it still looks gross and dry and rubbery, and what does that chicken look like to you?
Fantastic.
Delish. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. Awesome.
Yummy.
Awesome. Okay, so now we are just going to do a little test because we have to make sure that this chicken doesn't do the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation problem here. We got to make sure it's actually done. So there's 2 temperatures of chicken. It's either done or salmonella. So you can choose what to feed your family. I like to use my pocket thermometer and make sure it's done. Now this comes with a great sleeve over top of it, and on that little red sleeve has all your temperatures for all the different things that you would need to know temperatures for. Mine's probably 30 to 50 parties ago somewhere, so if you guys find a random one, it's mine. Can you give it back? But chicken needs to be 165, so you want to double check it's 165. Now, I did this wrong for a couple of times, so I'm going to tell you how to do this right. When you test your chicken, you don't want to put it in the chicken breast and say, 90 degrees, it should be warmer than that. The temperature gauge is up higher, so you want to put it lengthwise in your chicken breast so you can actually get an accurate reading on your chicken. So I have 2 chicken breasts in here. One is a little bit larger than the other, so I'm going to test this big old chicken breast here and just make sure it's done. So you can see I'm putting it in lengthwise because I want to know if it's actually done. And we want it to get to what temperature again?
165.
Oh, you guys are quick. You're good learners. I love it. This pocket thermometer is so handy because it goes in the dishwasher. So all the ones I had before, I had to sit it aside, and it would want to get lost because I didn't, want to wash dishes right away, and now I just throw it in the dishwasher and it can be done. So this one is at 140, so we're going to stick this back in for just another minute or 2, just to make sure it's done. All right? Again, I didn't think anybody wanted salmonella today. Nobody put that on the menu, right?
Nope.
Okay. Alrighty. And I have to tell you that when I have done this in the past, I've found that if the baker's too hot to pick up with my hands, then the chicken is probably done. And if it's not too hot to pick up with my hands, the chicken's usually not done. So this one, I can pick it up, believe it or not. So we're going to do 2 minutes and we'll get it going. So that was a really big chicken breast, and you'll know, like sometimes you can look at them and say, I think this was a 10-minute chicken breast or a 12-minute. But I will tell you, every microwave is different. So you have to kind of say, you know your own microwave, but going into different kitchens, you don't always know.